Street Garden for our Oh Grow Up segment. I have some plants to show you, and some of the plants I've already harvested. Come on over and I'll show you. Here's my cucumber plants with actual cucumbers on it. And at the end of the segment, we will make a recipe using this one right here. I came a little bit earlier and I harvested the vegetables that I'm going to eat. I definitely see tuna salad with pea pod leaves, celery and spinach, scallions and garlic involved. I'm also going to pull this broccoli plant. It's a little bit spindly and I think it would be excellent sauteed tonight for dinner. Now let me mention that it is November 30th and it is still 75 degrees. That's going to come in important a little bit later when we start talking about frost, but let's finish the tour of the garden here. On my tomato plant, I do see some male and female flowers. I don't have any tomatoes growing yet. At my home garden I do, so I know this one is going to be just a little bit behind that. I also cleared away some of the dead parts of my plant, so this is my little compost pile right here. And the zucchini plant, you've seen that from the other segments and those other recipes. Now, I do want to talk about frost. As I mentioned, it's November 30th, it's 75 degrees. I'm not sure when you will be watching this video. And you do notice that we just did the scene cut there. We moved out of the sun so the video would be easier to take. You gotta love technology here. Now, I've never experienced frost as a gardener before, so I do have my handy notes here. And I divided my frost education into 3 parts: the soil, the air, and then the plants. So if you do know that a frost is coming, water your garden at the warmest part of the day. That way the soil is protected and the roots are also protected. And then cover your garden. Use something a little more natural. Some places will say you can use plastic. I have a sheet ready because it will get cold. 75 today, but I do know we always have a few days of frost, so I'm going to be ready for that. So the soil, make sure that you water the warmest part of the day, cover your garden, and then also pay attention to what's going on in the air. That's the third part, soil. No, that's the second part, soil, air, and then the plants. So if it's a foggy cold, it could damage your plants a little bit more because moist air will hold the cold air. So a dry cold is a little bit better. And then also, if it's windy, it'll keep the air moving, and that's also good for the plants. So maybe on the coldest day, I will come out here and we will videotape the day before and the day after. Now, the third part is the actual plant. If your plant does get frost bitten, wait until the next day, the warmest part of the day, and that's when you should trim it up. So if you go out in the morning, and you have frost on some of your plants, leave it until the warmest part of the day. If you do know that the frost is going to last 2 days, I'm going to be honest with you, 3 or 4 days, I'm moving. But if we do have frost 2 days in a row, you can keep your garden covered for 48 hours. So I know a little bit about frost. When we do actually get frost, I'll come talk to you about that. I've been waiting about a week to make this recipe as soon as I saw my cucumbers starting to grow, so I'm excited to share this with you. I made some herbed cream cheese. I was snacking on it at home. I had to force myself to leave some for today's segment. It's a cream cheese base. I just added some water to thin it. You could use cream if you wanted to, sour cream, whatever you prefer. And then whatever herbs you're growing, you can put into your herbed cream cheese. Mine obviously has a lot of scallion and celery because that's what I've been growing, and both of those vegetables are my favorite. So then I just put the herbed cream cheese on the cracker. Slices of cucumber. Very gourmet. Very fresh, very good. Thank you for joining me.